I'd say embrace the grind. So like freshmen coming into the sport at the end of the year, they're probably thinking practice is probably one of the worst things they've been through and they can't wait to get the season over. But by the end of your senior year, you're going to look back and miss those practices and those tournaments and all the times with your team more than anything. So enjoy while you're doing it now, not go through the season dreading it, not wanting to do it, and then finish the year out and wait for next year just to do the same thing over and over again. So enjoy it while you're in it because it ends really fast.
Stick with it. Like, it sucks at times, and like there are times where you're like, I do not want to do this anymore. Like, it does not seem worth it, but like in the end, like, it's worth it to get through it.
Don't look at records, because a lot of people, what they like to do is like to look at records. They like to psych themselves out saying, oh, this guy has 3 losses, 2 losses, 1 loss, he's undefeated, he can't be beat. And everyone can be beat. And also don't underestimate anybody. So say they have double-digit losses, that doesn't mean anything because you don't know where they've wrestled and you don't know what competition they wrestle, and just because their record isn't good doesn't mean that they're going to get, especially in like the later tournaments like regional, sectional, state, everyone that's there is going to go hard because it could be their last match. So you got to make sure that you keep putting the pressure on everybody.
Yeah, I've seen multiple guys that stay with like 15, 16 losses. Like,
and win it.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, this is kind of personally, like, I don't feel like you have to cut as hard as you think you do. Like, I think a lot of kids cut way too hard and then they just get too low and then they're just weak. Like, I cut pretty hard my first couple of years, and then I don't know, I hated it. Like, it made the sport less enjoyable, but like, you know, you gotta, it's good to cut a little bit because you can usually cut out some foods in your diet and like work off a little fat, but you don't need to go too extreme.
Done anything to like just tick off your opponent?
Yeah. Well, especially Craig. Like, sometimes, like, I remember one time last year, I was like kind of like right here, and he was trying to get out like this, and then I just kept squeezing his head just like this, and I was squeezing so hard, and he started like going crazy, like, and I didn't.
I was getting like choked out.
I was squeezing very hard, and then finally he got his head out, and he almost punched me.
So what I like to do, Brant, is basically just trap his arm in between his legs.
Yeah.
And Brant is like walking around like this on his belly. Another thing, I would put the legs in on Aiden and hold this one arm like this, and so his shoulders on the ground, and just sit there.
When I do get Jimmy on the ground, doesn't happen a lot, but when I do, and like I'll have him in a position, I'll poke the sides. Like, I mean, we do it with Hunter all the time, where he had bruises on his sides because we did it so much. But when I can, I do it to Jimmy because he usually bullies me like 75% of the time. So the 25% of the time where he's not, I like to get my shots in.
I like to pull on Brant's leg hairs too.
Yeah.
His little bat.
And then I like to like put my fingers in his nose and then give him fish hooks.
Yeah. No, the worst fish hook I ever had. So this is a pretty good story. We were coming back from, was it Bi-State? It was Bi-State. And Aiden always beats me up in the van rides back, and somehow I got him trapped underneath the seat for a good half hour, and I was just grabbing him, pulling on his ear, and like, you know, like
laying the
punching
beat down,
him, for a good half hour. Finally, we get back to the school, and I sprinted inside and went to hide in the locker room. And he found me in one of the showers, grabbed me, turned the shower on, and then went like this as hard as he could for about 5 minutes. That hurt very bad. My lips were pretty chapped, and he got me pretty good.
He deserved it.
That's why Aiden wrestles.
Yeah.
I don't know, I get excessive cross-facing sometimes, but it's just more to hurt them, not to piss them off.
Yeah, and he choked a kid out once while pinning him, and then completely legal move.